starting our day with positive stories helps to carry us through the day. It helps to give us, a new vision or new perspective on how we interact with each other and how we can bring compassion and community engagement and different values positive values into our day.
2,000 employees around the world that work in a digital manner. In fact, today is the exemplification of how we work day in and day out, whether we're connected with Romania, whether we're connected with Paris, we're connected in the UK, and around the globe. All this is thanks to the networks that we create, ultra broadband access, IP networking, and cloud. But there have been some key elements that have been really remarkable about our people and our focus on people. I think the first one is Engage. We have our social networking platform Engage that has really enabled employees to come together and work as a virtual community to be able to share information. We have on Engage built a virtual community around corporate sustainability, but there are other many success stories thanks to Engage, StrongHer being one of them, which we are going to focus on in a minute. But I would say the first priority is really bringing our people together, exchanging in a horizontal manner, being able to share information, but most importantly, drive innovation and drive new ideas to bring Alcatel-Lucent at the forefront of what it does best, which is ultra broadband networks, IP networking, as well as cloud. The second thing that I'd really like to put forward is learning. At Alcatel-Lucent, we put in a lot of focus on learning. And just in the last year alone, through Alcatel-Lucent University, we've had 1.2 million hours of training, 53% of this being employees, the rest being customers with 91,000 learners globally, which is an incredible number. Another key area that we have really focused on is diversity. And when I started in 2011, I remember diversity was one of those key areas that we really wanted to be more focused on as a company. And then finally, we've seen some incredible inspiration, and particularly for me, as head of corporate sustainability, you can set that top target, you can set the framework, you can set the strategy, but what really is magical is when employees come back and innovate and actually take it one step further. Around the world, it's incredible to work for a company that supports the right balance for its leaders and for everyone, where you can turn around and find the right environment between working in the office and working from home. And on average, almost 50%, almost half of our employee base works 1 day per week from home.
And StrongHer was created in 2011, so 4 years ago, by 6 women in France. And now we are very, very proud that it is now a real movement throughout Alcatel-Lucent. It's present there are members in more than 50 countries. And also we're very proud that it's not only a women's network, it's really an employee network. And we also have 1 member out of 5 that is a man. And this is very important because diversity is obviously something for everyone. So I think this is definitely a real strength and a real opportunity for everyone to have ideas and innovations that will come from any employee and actually develop and grow into a huge movement that can really make a difference for the company. We actually work with non-profit partners. We develop focused partnerships with them through financial support, but also in-kind support. And we develop volunteerism programs. We engage employees worldwide to take part to these programs or propose their own projects, their own volunteering projects. So you can all also propose your volunteering projects to support this mission. And also we support society through in-kind donations, like for example,
is really thinking ahead, being an early adopter of ideas. Oftentimes we have a little bit of intrepidation around these things, so we think they may not be heard, they may not be supported by the organization, but when you have someone who backs you, like the Alcatel organization, I encourage you to take full advantage. Use your imagination, be an innovator. I interviewed the former mayor of Whistler, and his name was Ken Melamed, and Ken said in the interview, he said, we are a ski destination. How can we be sustainable? We're flying people here from all over the world. We're not even remotely sustainable, but we try the best we can. And what they did was they got really innovative. They decided to create what they called the Reuse It Center. So if you think about a ski a resort community, they have a lot of people that move into an organization and move out on a consistent basis. So what happens when someone moves into a community? Well, they need things. They need to have pots and pans and cups and these sorts of things. So this is what the Reuse It Center is designed to be. You are able to go to the Reuse It Center and purchase used goods and use them while you're there as working as on the ski lift or whatever for your 6 months. There's a lot of Australians that go to Whistler, people from all over the world. But when you leave, you give that back to the community. And what is so neat, so there's a number of organizations that have reused clothing. A lot of people have heard of companies like Value Village. These kind of companies do something similar. The difference with this is that the resort municipality of Whistler actually owns this company. So it's actually a not-for-profit or a social enterprise. But the incredible payback to the community is that the Reuse It Center funds 75% of the operating budget of about 26 different community organizations. So it funds the food bank, it funds the search and rescue in Whistler, it funds all of these different things, and it's just by design. They've designed this cute little center that people can go in and get products that they need for living and then gift it back to the community when they leave. So.
Is that we innovate for a sustainable future, and we do this through our Bell Labs energy research, whether it's in terms of our vision of zero networking power, whether it's through our GWatt application, which we launched, which is a thought leadership tool to enable anybody. You can go on the website, gwatt.org, and be able to see how can you increase your energy efficiency, how can you reduce your carbon emissions, how can you bring back valuable cost savings in the architecture of any network. And since its launch in January, in fact, up to today, I just checked the stats, we've had 27,000 users of our GWatt application. So certainly I encourage all employees to go on gwatt.org, which is a Bell Labs app, about seeing how we can reach out to customers, but also stakeholders, organizations, and why not all of us, to see how we can increase energy efficiency, reduce carbon emissions, and ultimately give back in cost savings.
Excited about talking about is biomimicry. So for those who've not heard of biomimicry, it's actually thinking about how nature operates and trying to mimic that. So the example, one of the ladies I'm a huge fan of, her name is Janine Benyus. Janine runs an organization called the Biomimicry Guild and Institute. They're in the United States. What she talks and encourages people to do, we think of buildings. She'll bring an architect together with a biologist. And an architect would say, I'm going to build a building and this is what it's going to do. And the biologist would look at it and go, have you ever thought of doing this, whatever that thing is? So bringing different ideas in and bringing diversity into your thinking is incredibly important, because If you bring a biologist and pair them with an architect, you can find examples in nature of things that nature does to solve problems that we already have. So, drawing your attention to thinking about the circular economy, thinking about how we can design things for life so that they meet our needs. You actually work for an organization that does that. You work for an organization that is incredibly supportive and gives you the opportunity to be heard and for your ideas to be implemented. A mining company who is remediating tailings ponds down in Bolivia, in South America. They're using bacteria to treat hazardous waste and making this waste now benign with the simple application of certain bacteria to what they're doing. It's tremendous. The eco wins, the wins for community, the job creation that is happening. So triple bottom line, everybody is winning all along this chain, whether it be the economy, the society, or the environment. It's incredible the people that I meet, the people that I get to interview all over the world who are doing such amazing work. And it is so empowering to be able to support them and to support you in the work that you're doing with the ALU Foundation, with the StrongHer network. It is so empowering. It's so nice to connect, with this global world that we live in. We can see how we're not acting individually. We're so much a part of a team of people around the world who care and are driving and actually creating sustainable action.
Really inspiring and comforting our ideas that the network is very powerful. We are more powerful together than alone, and definitively complementing each other through our diverse personalities. And it's so great to see that the StrongHer network, is really demonstrating a collaborative leadership. And Dana expressed beautifully her leadership today in this webcast. So congrats to Dana. And thanks to all of our beautiful speakers.